Hey there, welcome to anystack.in. In this video, I am going to talk about static. So this video is not going to be very long. So I am going to create the class in the same file, class user. There will be one data member. Let's create two, double and age. So let's create the constructor also, this dot age, this dot name and age. Yeah. So now I am going to create an instance of this user u1 user and user. Yeah, so let's make it optional by wrapping this inside a curly braces. Let's give the name as something random, age as again something random. Yeah, so now in order to access the data, u1 dot age, in order to access the age, in order to access the name, u1 dot name. So I hope you got this point, that in order to access the name and age, we always use the instance. Using instance we can get the name and age. So suppose if there is any u2 and this is having some different value like cat, and this is having some different value like dog. So if I will do u2 dot name, it will give us the cat. If I do u1 dot name, it will give us the dog. So the name property is coming based on the instance u1 and u2. So I hope this point is clear to you. So whenever you are trying to access the name, you are getting this from the instance. So this is basically dependent on the instance. So whenever you are making any static variable, static string, and suppose that table, okay, so we have made a static variable called table, whose type is string, and static variable do not depend on the instance, and it is not being dependent on instance like in any way. So let me make that clear first. So first of all, we cannot come here and initialize it like this dot table. This is wrong. Static variable are not initialized using constructor. So how do we initialize it? In order to work with static variable, we do not need any instance, or we do not need the constructor. We just need the class name, and after that you just have to use the or write the static variable name. After that, in order to get the value, this will just give you the value like string val. So this will just return you the value of the table which is stored here. And in case you want to set some value, you will do user dot table, and this is like user table. Okay, we have set it. So let's try to print it. So let's try to print it, user dot table. So let's run this now, and we are expecting we will get user underscore table, which we are getting. So here we are setting it. So suppose if we will try to get this before setting the value, what we are going to get? We will get null, because as there is nothing in it, we are getting null by default. There, this is like null, there is no value stored in it. If we will try to get it, we will get the null. When we set it using the class name, again please take care of this thing, we are setting the value using the class name, which means we are not in any way dependent on the instance. One more thing, here we do not have any instance, like here we are not having any instance. Then also we can call this value or set this value or update this value. So what happens with the static? Suppose that if you are having a class with some static value, so whenever your program is going to run, in the memory there will be a specific memory which is fixed for static data. So whenever you are going to set some data, this will go to that point and set the data. Whenever you want to get the data, this will go to that same point and get the data, which means there is only single point for a single static variable. For this one there is single point. So if I will call this in 10 files, then also that is going to be get the same data, because that is coming from a single source, or you can say the single memory location. That's why it's fixed. So this is the logic of static. If you got this, it's fine. If you do not get it, probably you will get this with the time. Sometimes people do not get this at very first attempt, so that's totally fine. So if you have any problem, let me know. I will try to fix it, or I will try to answer it. And thank you.